Thank you for joining the video on the Control Panel Globals tab of your administration area of Sherpa. To get to your Control Panel, go to your Administration on the main toolbar, select Control Panel, and then here's your Globals tab. If you would like your users to be able to change their password, you would check this box labeled Users Can Change Their Password. It will allow the user the ability to change their password on the login screen. If you would like your users to be able to reuse the same password, you would check the box Allow Users to Reuse Old Passwords. The Force All Users to Change Login Password will force all users to change their password the next time they log in. Then you've got your dealership name filled. You would enter your dealership name or company name that you would want to populate on your bookmark templates. Then you've got your Edit Various Lists. You have your equipment vendors. These are going to be the list of competitive vendors within your area. You can add a vendor by simply clicking Add, give the vendor a name, and select Save. To edit a vendor, highlight, click Edit, Update, and Save. To delete, you would highlight and delete. You could also rearrange the sort order in any of these lists by selecting Sort Order. From the left to the right, you would drag how you would want these items to be viewed within the drop-down list for your users to see. Again, you would drag from the left to the right or right to the left to remove. Once you've got the order of how you want these items viewed, you would select Save. And again, that item will be available within all the Edit Various Lists options, so we won't go over that again. But again, you'll be able to rearrange these lists for viewing purposes. Then you have your challenges. These are the common challenges between a user that they would use on the executive summary and the customer that they would want to have added to their proposal. If there's not an item listed that a user wants to see on the proposal, they can freeform type custom items within the executive summary. To edit this list or add to this list, again, you have your Add, Edit, and Delete options. And again, here's that sort order feature. Objectives kind of goes with that. This is also used within the executive summary. These are going to be the common customer goals and objectives that the user would want to have added to their proposal. Again, if it's not within this list for them to choose from, they can custom type items within the executive summary. Then you have your equipment types. Your equipment type is going to be the list or drop-down list within the TCO tab to define the type of equipment being entered. This also controls the equipment type within your NPS Pricebook, such as if you want it to be a color copier or define it as outsourcing, you could also add that here as well. Again, add, edit, delete, or you can again rearrange that sort order. Then you have your buyer's mode. This is used for the buyer's mode field when adding in a new account in the Accounts tab. Again, add, edit, and delete, and rearrange the sort order. Your job titles. This is going to be the job title of the contact of which you are entering in the Contacts tab of the accounts area. You can label them as a general manager, a network admin, the president. Again, you have your add, edit, delete, and sort order option. Then you have your account classification checkboxes. These are the account classification checkboxes on the main accounts page. You may add as many items as you wish to this list. Items from this list are filterable and reportable. You do not want to remove, though, the current client checkbox, as this is how the system determines what is a current client in many of the reporting areas versus a prospect. And also you have your delete company and merge account checkbox classification. We recommend you not to delete those as well, as this is how a rep is going to notify you as an administrator that they want the account to be removed or merged within the database. So again, you have add, edit, delete, and that sort order function down below. Then you have your number of employees. This is the number of employees or the size of the prospective company when you're adding the account into the system. Then you have your configurator volume. So these are going to be the volume increments that appear within the mono and color volume drop-down lists in the solution configurator when a rep is configuring a piece of equipment. This drop-down list is for convenience purposes only. It's not going to be where you're setting a minimum volume for those specific devices, but a rep can also free type as a specific volume if it's not in this list for them. Again, add, edit, delete, and there's your sort order function. Your TCO default ratio is going to be the customer default page fill ratio within the TCO. You can change it from 10 to 25 to be whatever you want to enter here, and that will be viewable within the TCO tab. For your opportunity status, these are going to be the labels used to identify the status of an opportunity listed within the Opportunities tab in the Accounts. You have 3 required statuses at the top: closed, lost, and forecasted. These are the exact names of which may be edited, but you wouldn't want to deviate from the function type. So what you label these will always be what they are on the left when an opportunity status is created. Down below, you can add as many additional status types as you desire, such as competitor equipment, no buy, still the deal, whatever you would like. And you can do this by selecting the green plus button. And you can give the opportunity a name or the status and select OK. And you will notice there's also an option to tie any opportunity status type to a system-generated activity of your choosing by placing the checkbox underneath for system activity and then selecting the activity type available within your activity types list. Once you tie them together and a rep moves their opportunity throughout the statuses, it will automatically generate an activity for whatever activity type you have on to the right. Then you have your SIC codes. These are your standard industry codes within the system. While a description is necessary, the number or code is not needed. You do have to have a number entered, however, as long as it's not 0. Again, you can add, edit, or delete. Then you have your activity categories. So again, these are your activity types or classifications when a rep is adding an activity within the accounts area of Sherpa. This allows them to choose from a drop-down list when they're adding the account activity. You have 6 required activities listed at the top, and these are going to be system-generated activities such as email, new account, forecast, lost sale, sales stages, and lease expiration. So if a user sends an email or saves an email through Compass, an activity will automatically be generated and completed for an email. So while you may change the name of the item for the viewing purposes, keep in mind though that they will always pull from the activity type listed on the left. Down at the bottom is where you can add as many activity types to the list as you desire. Simply click the green plus button, give the activity a name, and then from here you can also assign point values by selecting the up or down arrow underneath the points column to assign it a point value for each activity type. Then you have your close percentage. This is going to be the close percentage or how confident a rep is when they're creating an opportunity and how confident they are this is going to close within the closed date estimated. Again, you can add the opportunity, enter the percentage, give a description, and hit save. Then you have your contact rank. This is going to be the contact rank of your contact when entering them into the activity or contacts tab of your accounts area. You've got your sales stages. So again, the names of the various stages of a rep's pipeline. You do have the 3 required stages at the top of the list, so forecast, closed, and remove from funnel. Again, you can change the descriptions, but don't deviate from them a whole lot, because these are what they are going to be on the left. You can add any additional stages at the bottom by selecting the green plus button, giving the stage a name, and then putting it in the order you want to view it within the sales stage. You do have to have an order to reflect it on the sales stage. Then you have your lease end days. So if you're using Lease Tracker, this is where you will set the rules for whenever a reminder is scheduled based on the length of the lease. So for example, if you enter 100 next to the 0 to 12, any lease whose length is 0 to 12 months will have a reminder set to contact the customer 100 days prior to the lease expiring. Then you have your manufacturers. This is going to be the list of manufacturers to choose from to identify your equipment within the MPS price book. For your activity quick note, this is the list available as a shortcut when creating a new activity in the Activity tab, so the user can select from a predefined note rather than typing in one of their own. So for example, they left a voicemail or they have a follow-up call. Within your FM Audit URL option, so if you're using FM Audit Central, you will need to add the URL in this area. Click on that FM Audit API URL button, enter the FM Audit URL, then you do have to have the /webservices/public/API.asmx to the end. Your app settings button, you can change the amount of a decimal place anywhere from 8 to 3 in both the Compass program or when populating proposals and paperwork. You would click the App Settings button and pick the decimal place precision from the drop-down. Then choose how many decimal places you want to show in both Compass program and on your proposals and sales template bookmarks. Click on Save Changes to save your changes. For your miscellaneous settings, these are going to be your global settings that will apply to all non-administrator users. The Allow Users to Update program will allow users to run any version updates that are available by going to the Help menu and selecting the Check for Updates option. Checking the Display Program Update at Startup box will notify users via a pop-up message upon login when updates are available. If this box is not checked, the user can still click the Help button in the toolbar at the top, click on Check for Updates, and see if any are available. For your reps can sell discontinued items, checking this box will allow users to see machines in Product Configurator that have been tagged as discontinued. The discontinued machines will be in a red font, and the user will also be notified if that model is selected that is discontinued. Allow deletion of activities email. If you check this box, it's going to allow users to delete both pending and completed activities and emails in the Contact Activity and Emails tab in the Accounts area. Allow deletion of proposals. If you're checking this box, will allow users to delete proposals from the Proposals tab. The Allow deletion of forecasts, by checking this box, will allow users to delete forecasts and opportunities from the Opportunities tab in the Accounts area. Checking the box for OEM pricing is available will allow users to price out both OEM and compatible service contracts in the Printer Pricer tab. If you do not have OEM pricing set up in the MPS price book, you will want this box unchecked. Use one list for equipment. By checking this box will signify that your company is using one list of equipment that all users will have access to, no matter which region they are assigned to. If you are using multiple equipment pricing lists, possibly per region or by manufacturer, uncheck this box. However, if you have equipment listed in multiple regions and this box is checked, it will result in each user to see the same piece of equipment listed multiple times, for as many regions as it is assigned to see. Use one list for service. Checking this box will signify that your company is using one list of service rates that all users will have access to, no matter which regions they are assigned to. If you are using multiple lists, again, possibly per region or by manufacturer, uncheck this box. Use one list for lease rates. Checking this box is going to signify that your company is using one list of lease rates that all users will have access to, again, no matter which region they are assigned to. If you are using multiple leasing rates lists, uncheck this box. Use one list for printers. Again, this box needs to be checked or marked at all times. This is for a future enhancement coming in which checking this box will signify that your company is using one list of printers that all users will have access to and allow separate pricing by region when unchecked. The force follow-up activity checkbox. If you check this box, a user will not be able to complete an activity without scheduling a follow-up activity in the Activities tab in the Accounts area. If this box is not checked, they will have the option of simply completing an activity or completing an activity with a follow-up. If force follow-up is turned on, Step 3 in the Activities area will say Required when completing an activity. If it is turned off, it will say Optional. The Turn On New Printer Pricer. So if you're an existing Compass customer and being converted from the previous version of Printer Pricer to the new MPS Pricebook version, this will turn on the new Printer Pricer and start using Pricebook pricing on new MPS opportunities. You will want this unchecked until you have your MPS pricing loaded correctly into the Pricebook. For lockdown completed activities, if you check this box, users will not be able to edit completed activities in the Activities tab. This option is also per individual user within the Manage Users area. If checked in the Global setting, this will override the choice you make in the Manage Users area. Your Deny Backdating, backdating activities. If you check this, users will not be able to backdate any activities when completing them in the Accounts tab. Then you have your percent for forecasted revenue graph. Enter in the closing forecast percentage that you would like to populate the graphs on the main login screen. For example, if entering 50%, this is going to mean that only users forecast with a 50% or higher closing ratio will populate on the graphs. For your days prior to lease expiration, you would want to enter in the number of days prior to the lease expiring that you would like Compass to schedule a pending lease expiration activity. For example, entering 180 days into this field means that each time a lease expiration date is entered into the TCO tab, a pending lease expiration activity will be scheduled for the user 180 days prior. This is only for equipment listed in TCO and completely separate from the lease tracker reminders. Days to keep company name in the drop-down. You would enter the number of days that you would like the names of previous accessed accounts to remain in the account name drop-down for easy access in the CRM. The TCO parts and labor margin percentage is the number that reflects the increased percentage used for calculating the parts and labor number per machine in the TCO tab. Compass takes your dealer parts and labor numbers from printer service labor and parts table and multiplies it times the number to calculate the parts and labor field in the TCO tab. Your manager override password. This is going to be the password for editing service pricing in the Solution Configurator tab using the Edit Service Rate button. Your template password. If you have populated or protected your Word or Excel templates with a password, you would enter the password here so the template will populate correctly. Keep in mind you must use the same password for all templates. Compass will populate the template for the user and then lock it back up before opening it. For your Outlook export permission, you would enter the minimum security level. This is going to be the minimum security level will have the ability to export contacts into Outlook and from Outlook. Keep in mind though, the Outlook Contact Export option is an add-on module. Your Printer Pricer override password. This is the password used in the new version of Printer Pricer to change the rep's outcost, CPP, for MPS using the CPP override button. Your Activity Default Rep. This is used for Lease Tracker and UCC modules as well as Navigator when creating activities. Normally, activities will go to the following user. If there is a primary rep assigned to an account, it assigns the activity to the primary rep. If there is a single territory rep assigned to an account, it assigns the activity to that rep. If there are multiple territory reps or a territory rep and a secondary rep, it assigns it to the default rep set here. Then you have your regions. This is where you can enter your company's regional offices, including their name, address, and phone number. These regions will be used for reporting purposes and with the Google Maps button in the Accounts tab. Keep in mind, if there are still accounts, users, models, and lease rates assigned to the region, it will not allow you to delete it, as this will leave these items with nothing assigned. To add a region, simply click Add New Region, enter the region information, and hit Submit. To edit a region, highlight the region you would like to edit, select Edit. The fields open up for you to make changes, and hit Submit. To delete a region, highlight it and select Delete. Your transfer accounts between regions. This button is used to transfer accounts between regions. It doesn't transfer sales reps, just the CRM account itself. So if a sales rep outside of any region is named or assigned to an account, not simply a territory assignment, they will still have access to the account. You would select from the drop-down the type of accounts to be transferred, such as city, main contact, last name, region, state, and zip. Some of the lists pre-populate and others are manual entry. Type what you wish to view, such as city and Boise, and click the search button. A list matching your search will appear. You can select certain accounts to transfer or click Check All to select everything. Once the accounts to be transferred have been selected, choose your region to transfer to at the bottom from the drop-down list and then select Transfer. A message will pop up saying the accounts have been transferred successfully. Once you hit OK, the region will refresh in the list to show the new one. Thank you for joining our video on the Administration Control Panel Globals tab. If you have further questions, you can reach us at training@compasscontact.net.